Hi, I'm Roger Mittag. I'm the founder of Prud'homme Beer Certification and the president of Thirst for Knowledge. And I thought I would set this video up for you to help you to understand a little bit more on how to set pressure for draft beer. And, even though we think that it's a really easy thing to do, this is where most people don't have enough information to do this properly. So in order to set pressure in a draft system, you need to understand a bit about dispense gas first. So a lot of times in the industry, we refer to something as a volume of CO2, and we have to understand internal gas settings before we can do anything. A volume of CO2 is a ratio of gas to beer. It is the amount of carbon dioxide infused into the body of beer. The reason this is important is that it allows you to design a system where you are using the right gas and the correct pressure. In this chart, you can see that one volume of CO2 is the equivalent amount of gas to beer, or a ratio of 1 to 1. Typically, this is for nitro beers like Guinness. The second column is more reflective of British style beers. A 2 to 1 ratio typically is featured in cask conditioned beers. Commercial European or domestic beers are typically around 2.7 volumes, while a lot of craft brands are between 2.5 and 2.7 volumes. Re-fermented beers like wit beer or Weiss beers and saisons are often 3 volumes or higher. It's important to understand that style normally dictates the amount of carbon dioxide that's infused into the beer. So here's where things get a little easier. Go to the App Store on your phone and type in McDantum Easy Blend. Once you've uploaded the app, you can then continue to the next step. And it's good to understand that McDantum is the industry leader when it comes to understanding dispense gas for beer. The app in Canada is set to metric, but it will show barometric pressure, not pounds per square inch, so we need to change that. So touch the 3 bars on the top left side of the app and it will take you to this screen. Tap the standard unit and then touch the Easy Blend icon just above. This will allow you to use PSI as a setting, but the temperature will naturally default to Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Okay, now we're ready to start. We're going to work on straight carbon dioxide right now. At the bottom of the app, you'll find 3 different settings: blend, CO2, and pressure. These settings allow you to change what you are actually looking for. In the first example, we'll be trying to establish a proper pressure setting for a home dispense system. In this case, we are using 100% carbon dioxide. You have to change each variable in the app. In this case, the temperature in the fridge is 38 degrees Fahrenheit. We are located in Toronto, which has an elevation of approximately 350 feet above sea level. Now, this is important because high elevations change pressure settings. The alcohol content in our example is 5%, and we are using a standard domestic beer, which is 2.7 volumes of CO2. Just a note, this is a bit of information that is not readily available, so you either have to guess or you have to ask the brewery. With craft breweries, they can provide that information easily, but with larger brewers, it will be a challenge to obtain it. The blend, as we said earlier, is 100% CO2. Based on all of this information, the app tells us the perfect pressure setting is 13 pounds per square inch. Personally, I'd start at 12 and then see how it pours, but it should be fine. Oh, and a small note, when you're adding or changing the settings in the app, you can either type it in on your phone or you can use the sliding scale that's in the app. So what if? What if you're using a portable system at a beer festival and the temperature is much higher in the afternoon than in the morning? Well, your beer is going to get foamy. This is a situation where this app is beautiful. At this beer festival, jockey boxes or flash coolers The temperature at the beginning of the day is going to be around 38 degrees Fahrenheit, but halfway through the day it rises and the beer naturally gets foamy. So now in our example, the temperature of the keg is at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. A lot of times when we notice foamy beer, we have a tendency to want to turn the pressure down. But when you do the math and use the app, you can see that the pressure now needs to be at 20 pounds per square inch as opposed to 13. This is an easy fix to a very simple and common problem. The beer industry in North America has been promoting beer gas for over 20 years. It is the perfect gas for brands like Guinness, but can be a problem for other beers that have higher levels of CO2. In order to keep a beer properly carbonated throughout the keg, you would need approximately 70 to 80 pounds of pressure for beer gas. The couplers on kegs release pressure at 45 pounds. So if you want to see what the correct gas blend should be, you should use this app. First, press the blend variable at the bottom and then fill out all the variables as necessary. In our case, our draft technician has set our pressure at 24 pounds. This allows the beer to be poured properly, typically at about 2 ounces per second out of the tap. Assuming this is correct, the new blend of gas should be 70% CO2. Now, in the US, the blend always refers to carbon dioxide first. I hope you've enjoyed our primer on draft beer dispense gas. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can reach me at rmittag@thirstforknowledge.ca.